I don't think I've ever sat right directly in front of that thing. I'm not sure I want to.
We need to keep the quips to a minimum.
Okay, we'll start our meeting. Well, this, bring this to order. First thing we're doing is public hearing to receive public comment regarding the proposal to raise sewer rates 12% to begin to fund the $13.5 million water wastewater treatment upgrade project costs. We're projecting that these upgrades, sans any additional grant funding, will require a 30% increase in rates. In addition, planning is underway for approximately $20 million in water upgrades that will need to be done in the next few years. Currently, the water fund is underfunded, so we are proposing to raise water rates 12% now as well. For most users in the 0 to 50,000 gallon range, this will be a combined increase of about $1.70 per 1,000 gallons. The minimum charge for quarterly users is 5,000 gallons, so the base water sewer rate would increase by $8.56 per quarter, or $2.85 per month. The village water and sewer rates are below New York State averages. That is held against this municipality when looking for funding. Monthly averages for water throughout the state are in the $52 a month range, and for sewer in the $89 range. Increases for users outside the village will be a dollar amount, not a percentage. We have agreed that this is a fair way to assess rates for outside users by increasing the same dollar amount as inside users. In addition, the infrastructure committee is exploring the idea of converting our billing system to an EDU model, because this may help us to better budget for needed upgrades and ongoing operational costs. We're currently researching how this would work, the impact to users and other community experiences, etc. Given the urgency of the infrastructure projects, both those that we've begun and those for which we're still in the planning phase, we believe we should increase rates so that increased costs can be gradually absorbed. This is a public hearing, and we'll now take your comments if there are any. Please remember that this is not a discussion. If you wish to comment, please state your name or where you reside, and I'll give each person no more than 3 minutes for comment. The other option was to provide public comment via email addressed to me, and I have received none. Anybody wish to comment?
Lynn Souye, town of Canton, my husband Dan.
Mhm.
We live out Riverside Drive. We are town residents, not village.
Mhm.
We've had village water and sewage for 30+ years after my father installed them at his cost many years ago when he put country townhouse apartments out there by past the cemetery. We've always paid higher rates than village. I'm sure I know why. Obviously, payment in lieu of taxes. We don't pay village taxes. We pay town. We pay almost twice the rate of water and sewage that the village does. I'd first like to state that I'm not probably not surprised that my husband and I are the only two here, in that the only thing I saw anywhere was the article that was in North Country Now, and that was a month ago. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that more people aren't aware of this. I was not able to get online and look up the village minutes because they weren't there. So I couldn't familiarize myself with what was even discussed last month. I waited till today to see if it finally may come out, because I asked Mr. Dalton about it the other day. No minutes have been posted since November of last year for village, which is inappropriate. Needs to be done within 2 weeks of a meeting. I had to go on, when I went online today, I had to go to Zoom recording, which I then had to go through and try to find the part that talked about this. It didn't say anything. First of all, and before I forget to say it, it didn't say anything when Mr. Dalton was saying about a certain amount of per amount, not percentage, rate for town. I don't understand that. I thought it was, what I understood was a 12% increase, for sewer, and stuff, and then all of a sudden water was included in that. So I'm assuming it's water and sewage that you're talking about, which I understand. I get the idea of increasing things. I understand that. Prices go up, you need to fix things. And we're constantly adding new businesses on village water and sewage. A lot more than there ever was probably when this was put into place many years ago. And like I said, I'm here today, not because I don't understand the idea that it needs to go up. I get it. I'd like to know how much I'm gonna go up. If it's not a percentage rate, have you decided on a flat rate that we're gonna go up? Cause I didn't hear about that till right this second. I didn't see it posted, this hearing posted anywhere. I checked the Watertown Times legal notices, I checked North Country Now legal notices, Plain Dealer, nowhere. My husband checked the post office, it was not posted there. I don't know if it's supposed to, I guess it's supposed to. The minutes are supposed to be posted 72 hours before, or the agenda is supposed to be posted for 72 hours before the meeting. It wasn't posted until Tuesday evening or Tuesday afternoon, which is only 48 hours prior to the meeting. If a person was going to look it up, see what the agenda was, they wouldn't see it. I'm sure my 3 minutes is just about up, and I'm gonna stop because I've been worried about saying this all day long. I think it's something that has to be said. I don't understand about things not being out there so that we understand what's going on. I'm not a village resident. I don't pay taxes in the village, but I still care about what goes on in the village. I live a mile outside of it. It's my hometown. I was born and raised here. I care about it. And even if I don't make minutes, I like to kind of keep abreast, even if it's only every now and then again that I get on the minutes and look them up. So, that needs to be taken care of as far as I'm concerned. Minutes need to be posted within 2 weeks after the meeting, as is my legal right to read them. That's it.
Any other comment? Okay, there being none. Give it another minute or two.
When we had public comment, we got pretty wet trying to get in here.
Refreshing.
Hmm?
It's refreshing.
Why don't we have to sit in the meeting?
Okay. When we close the public hearing, and we'll move on with the agenda. The first item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of May 22nd. Any corrections or changes to those minutes?
I have some there. Sorry, let me find them now. Lots of tabs. I believe that there was a specific emphasis made, and the motions for both of the resignations were motions to acknowledge them, not to accept them. And I realize that that's a very small thing, but I think that we should have it correct what the actual motion was so both of those resignations say that they're acceptances, not acknowledgements. So if we could change that.
Any other corrections? Need a
Not
motion?
for me. So moved with those corrections.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, department head reports. Let's see. Well, let's start with recreation.
Knew you were gonna do that. Didn't have it open yet.
Been busy?
Yeah, a little. Alright. We just had our second annual used equipment sale, it was successful, so that was good. Rehomed a lot of equipment. Summer programs, those have all been released, we ended registrations on Monday. They're still trickling in. But we're getting that handled. Lifeguards are doing their jobs, which is great. Had a lot of field trips. We had some lifeguards step up on Tuesday to add some hours because it was so hot. Ryan and I, my laborer, we renovated the bathrooms at Taylor Park, much needed. We got a donation from the school last year from their renovation project, so we put in some new to us stalls in the bathrooms, which is nice. Cleans it up a bit. Let's see here. We've been doing, just an update, Barb and I've been busy interviewing staff for the new summer program, so that's been fun. We've had some surprising gems, which has
Some really
been really
awesome.
fun.
Yeah.
But other than that, we're mowing grass in between the rainstorm. But yeah, we just got a new to us rototiller, which is great. So now we can rototill the playgrounds better and the sand volleyball courts. So, yeah, everything's going good.
All right,
And you got a new mower to play with too, right?
Yeah, we've had that for a couple months. That's
Oh.
been.
I just saw the bill,
now
I just saw the
now
bill for it. so
It's
that's-
old now. No, the new mower is fantastic. It's basically exactly the same as what we had, so just proves that don't fix anything that's not broke. The only thing different is we got the rear discharge, which, the staff really enjoy because it's a lot safer. We don't have to worry about vehicles or people or anything like that, because everything just goes right behind us. So it's been good.
any questions? Okay, clerk.
Not usually inspired by me then. Don't really have anything to add. As you can see, we've been busy collecting taxes. We've already collected 27% of taxes. Transient merchant permit, hawking permit, so things are happening.
Questions for Sally? Economic development. How's Lee today?
Okay. Not a whole lot to add to the report. New York Forward the LPC had their first meeting. The second one is coming up next week on the 25th. For 1 to 3, and then we expect that the open call for projects will be announced shortly thereafter. Then go roughly from June 26th to July 31st. So things are moving forward there. We also, there was a, first stakeholder meetings and public sessions on the 29th and 30th, 29th, and then on the 30th, there was some open office hours with the consultants for New York Forward as well, and those were all very well attended, so that was good. The New York Main Street continues to move forward. We've got some more projects that will be underway very shortly, got some more approvals in place. Secondary water project is underway. We've requested another short extension for the CDBG CARES grant, just to wrap up the administrative stuff and make sure we adjust all the budgets, so we utilize all the funding. So we're hoping to get that extended through next week, the 28th June. Willow Island is nearly finished, just putting on the finishing touches. Midtown Plaza RFP, we've had some additional interest in that after being given some names of developers. I met Darren Scott, who is one of the directors of the housing programs for the Office of Homes and Community Renewal. And he gave me some contacts for, some developers who do similar types of projects in our area and utilize their programs. So we reached out to them and we've gotten a decent amount of interest, so, we're extending that deadline on to the June 28th as well. And just the CFAs are open now, all the funding sources, applications are also due on the 31st.
Questions for Lee?
31st of June.
July.
There is.
Ooh,
I know, right? I'm like,
Why are you speeding that
I
up?
don't know, I just clarifying, see, I just made everybody happy, right?
Hey, do you know when they want the responses for that community survey by?
I think they were gonna keep it open at least through the end of the month.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
is
think they'll
what they
close it
said.
after our next meeting.
Yeah, so probably,
Which is Tuesday.
Next to
Yeah,
it,
but
yeah,
no, they're
next
gonna
to-
close it, I think. After call for projects.
they don't wanna overlap too much with the call for projects, so they want the focus to be on the projects,
Yeah.
so probably sometime next week it'll close out.
okay.
When I told them, let us know and we'll do a final push. Although we did, at the time we talked to them on Tuesday, we had 100 and I wanna say like 170 responses or something
yeah.
like that, 172 maybe.
They had a good number of
Something like that.
responses.
They were happy with that. It's more than many other communities have,
Okay.
but the more the better, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
signed
community
out.
survey, if anybody doesn't know, on the kennyforward.com website, go through there.
Is the,
13 questions, very quick.
yeah, it is. Is the business survey still going on too? I know they were surveying the businesses. You don't know if that's still happening, okay.
I know they went door to door.
They did that in anticipation of that meeting with the storyboard.
So it was only door to door, interesting, okay.
And there was stakeholder meeting.
Right, okay. I just saw somebody asking about it, so I wanted to.
There's a press release that has to go out and I got it late Tuesday, so I gotta get it to you so you can take care of it. On New York Forward. Anything else? Okay. Excuse me. Chief,
Not much to add to the report, other than, the $94,000 technology grant that we are receiving from New York State. Was able to already receive the, 5G modems for the patrol cars.
Oh, wow.
Those already came in, just working on getting those installed, and the body cameras through Axon, which is probably the best company out there. We're in the queue, it's gonna be probably 3 or 4 months before we see any of those, but just in time, because the other ones are really starting to act up, so.
Perfect.
Yep. That's all I have.
anything else for chief?
Are we searching for an officer still too?
Yeah, I'll deal with that a little bit further down.
Further down, okay.
I threw in there the Chamber of Commerce report. You
Yeah,
should have
thank
seen
you.
that. And then, let's see. Code enforcement, he is on vacation, but you got his report. A couple questions for him when he gets back. On Monday. Is the assessor online?
No,
No? Okay. A lot of people out on vacation and stuff. The historian, is she up there?
no.
We're doing good.
I did just get a message from somebody who was trying to join, who said that it says the meeting is waiting to start. And I said, well, we have started,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Hopefully, we're not having connection difficulties.
I don't know. I do not know.
Not yet.
Superintendent. Tim,
This is in my report, but it, it just should be said also that, we're hoping to pave, right after the week of the 4th. And that's contracted through the county, so I know you guys probably will get questions about that. People get upset about it, but
I love
Hopefully
explaining
it-
it though.
it'll be quicker this year than last year. Yeah, last year we were held off by that construction going on at the school, so.
Yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful illustration of shared services.
Yes. And then they will be contracted to do the striping also thereafter. We plan on doing a lot of sidewalks on State Street as well. There's definitely a lot there that can be replaced. I did talk to Diaco today about Willow Island, the furniture, which is benches and picnic tables should be in next week, is what he thinks. So they've taken the barricades down, but we'll have an official reopening press release deal when we actually get everything done and down there. So that's maybe within 2 or 3 weeks, hopefully.
Okay, sounds good.
And these guys are shut down with demolition just temporarily due to some other testing that they had to do that came up when they went to the transfer station. So they're taking care of that.
I was gonna
Why you-
speak to that in the old business, but.
Oh, okay.
that's fine.
Yep. Other
Questions for Tim? Okay. Golf course, he's not here. I don't think I missed anybody, did I?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Okay, I need a motion to accept department head reports.
So moved. And second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, committee reports. I'll go right to the police committee. We do have an officer that we interviewed and are processing. And the update is that the candidate background is progressing nicely. Just a couple more things to work on. Chief told me today that, you're just waiting to a couple of follow-ups.
Yep.
Okay. We hope we'll be able to appoint him at our next meeting.
Great.
The academy would start in August.
Good news.
So, so far, so good. Other committees?
I would say sustainability, we had a task force meeting on the climate smart community group, Tim, and some members of SUNA, of course. And the good news is we are gonna be eligible for, plus the person from ANCA who is our resource, thank God. Very helpful and very knowledgeable. So we'll be eligible for a $10,000 grant that we can use actually to do some energy studies is what the group came to the conclusion. And because we're doing those this is very much a circular thing. By doing those energy studies, it gives us more points for clean energy community, and we could be eligible for a $50,000 grant in the fall for that. So we'll be getting bronze status, I think maybe as soon as August, and, kudos to Suna, who is doing a tremendous amount of work to get this done, and Tim's assistant has been very helpful too, providing her with the data, but she's got a database, she's got us very organized.
Very diligent.
She is, yeah, she's making this go for sure, so. And she's very practical, so it's helpful. So that's the main thing I would say from sustainability.
Complete Streets, they were looking at some of the New York Forward grant options that might apply to, streets within the village limits within the grant program. I know they were looking at some of those options. Tim was fixing a bike pump for him in the park. And, I know they were working on trying to figure out the extension of Minor Street from St. Lawrence on, with pedestrian traffic and bike. There was some things that came up with that project, not on our end, but on the other side of the line, so. But other than that, things are going good.
Good.
Communications and technology, I think the big thing is hopefully everybody has noticed that our new website is in fact up and running and is, it appears to be going well. I don't know, Sally, have you received any feedback, you or
Actually,
Heidi, through
I
that
didn't-
form?
No, not through the form, but actually Tom had a little bit of feedback and I'll share that with you later.
Okay,
We had a rough start.
we did.
going from the old to the new.
We did.
Um,
It was a challenge.
Took about a week and a half, and that's caused a lot of aggravation with. I think what was posted, what wasn't posted, but I think we got it there.
Yeah, there are still, some wonky things. There's bound to be some wonky things. When you go from one to the other, stuff gets
Completely different
lost in
system,
transfer,
yeah.
gets lost in translation. So I know, we had a communication about a page that needs some updates, that we're supposed to go over and never did make it over. And there may, be things on there that as people are using the site that they find, okay, a link doesn't work. This says there's information here, but it's not here. Things like that may come up. And so, please just reach out to us so that, we know and we can fix it. But all in all, we're happy about it. This new design, really addresses, I would say like, temporary standards for websites, right? People should have to click less to get to where they're going, fewer clicks. I think the goal is to get people where they're going within 3 clicks, so you're not like,
Well,
going
and
all
the search
over.
is better.
We don't want an unending scroll. And I think it's just, visually, appealing. I would also just say that, in terms of the search, this website, in the, website manager, the search is, what's the word, optimized, right? So as it is used, it's gonna get smarter, so to
Right.
speak. But the actual search should be far more useful to people, than on our previous,
Yeah.
our previous
Starts out in a
website.
better place and it will still get better from there.
And the last thing that I want to say is that it is very likely for at least a few more weeks that if people type in something like they want to say Village of just into Google, Village of Canton, code enforcement. It's entirely possible that that's going to go to an old and now dead link, because it takes a couple of weeks for all of that to sort of clear, to flush out and clear. And then our new site, should replace it. And of course, with all of the analytics and such, it should only get better.
Has there been any distinctive difference in terms of use, on a PC versus an Android or? Okay.
Not that we're aware of, and I've looked at it on my mobile, it's very,
Yeah.
very mobile friendly. Which, as we know, a lot of people use this more than that.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, so, certainly please let us know if you run into things, because we can fix that. I guess the other thing to say is we are going to, Sally and Heidi and I are gonna meet and, sort of put together a training and some documents for everyone in the town and the village who may need editing. And we'll schedule a training to
edit pages.
The people that have been trained already are people who do a lot of content and might need additional administrative. So now we want to make sure everybody gets the editing, training that they need to be able to edit pages and so forth. There's some cool new features. There's, how do I? So there are quick links where people, how do I pay my water and sewer, quick links that will take people right to that kind of information. There's, some contact features.
The accessibility feature is really cool.
There's an accessibility feature, so people can easily increase font if they need to, or contrast, or have it read to them. And that's part of the editing, right? We have to,
Sure.
when we put
Sure.
But it
material
has a
in,
little icon and you just click on it.
our editor will tell us when something is not accessible, so
AI is
only
a crazy thing.
accessible information goes on.
Yeah.
There's also a feature to sign up for automatic updates. So when, say something is added to a page, like, I think the agendas page, you can sign up And then anytime an agenda is added, it gets immediately emailed to you.
With no,
I did see
And that
That's
way,
cool.
right, so this eliminates, you know, the clerk's offices having to manually email things out. Because people can go right onto the website, I want to be notified every time an agenda is posted, and it's gonna come to your email. So stuff like that is hopefully gonna really benefit our community and decrease the, the work of, in the clerk's office
the
in these
repetitive
ways.
things, the
Yeah.
repetitive, every month
Increase
having
the
this.
efficiency.
Thank you. I was looking for those words. So, yeah, we're pretty excited, but you know, definitely we know there will be bugs, so please just let us know. It's good to know there's some stuff missing, you know, we'll go back and take a look. It could be that it didn't transfer over. So.
Integration is a massive task. So,
Yeah, and
thanks to the whole
overall, I
team.
have to say, I was
Yeah, it's
pretty
usually a
happy with how
disaster.
it went.
That's
Yeah,
like the
It was
default.
kind of my nightmare that we were gonna do all that work and then we're gonna have a blank new website, so.
Yeah.
Try to have it going on during program registrations.
What's that?
It was during program registrations.
Right, I know. We got one domain switched over and not the other, so it was a bit of a hassle, but we're there.
Okay,
Thanks, everybody, for working on it.
next. You have a
Yeah, I
committee.
mean, like,
You have the rec,
right.
we haven't met again. I mean, Megan gave you the update, that's. pretty
Okay.
much it.
Right.
Shared services.
Oh,
And
shared
rest
services.
assured, she's busy.
We're hiring a lot of people.
No, no, we got that covered.
Oh, shared services, right. So there's 3 remaining. We had another meeting. I'm charged with getting them finalized. There's not a lot of changes. 2 of them are done and should complete the 3rd one and get them out before our joint meeting next week.
Joint meeting next week is,
Okay.
we're gonna hope to approve them.
Great.
She'll circulate them all.
Next Wednesday.
Constable, court and municipal buildings, so.
Okay.
I will not be at the shared service meeting next Thursday, but
The joint meeting.
they're.
The joint meeting is on
The
Wednesday.
shared service.
It's
the
Wednesday.
joint-
It is a shared meeting.
Yeah, the shared meeting, but the joint meeting.
Whatever day the 26th is.
Wednesday,
Yeah, I thought maybe it was Wednesday.
Okay,
6 o'clock.
any other reports?
I don't think so.
I think we're good.
Okay. I don't have any communications. We'll go to old business. 64 Main Street.
You can only see the truck right now.
Well, yeah, it's not all toward that. As Tim alluded to, and I'll
Brick
just,
by brick.
I'll mention it, well, it looks like they're trying to do a good job of recycling. They're keeping the steel and
Oh, good.
stainless and all that kind of
That's great.
stuff.
That's great.
What happened was, they ended up down at the landfill, Rodman, and they were told that when they got there, they needed a lead test.
Oh,
So we didn't know anything about it. Apparently that's something that began in within this year, or this past year.
Fascinating.
It's called, or ATL
Good idea.
does the testing. He says, oh, we just found out about it too, that they started doing that, so.
It's
You can
not
take it
bad.
to another landfill and they don't ask for that.
how do you test a whole truck load of?
Well, they
debris?
have to take samples and that's
Okay,
what I was
I was
told.
gonna say.
Tim, I think
Yeah.
that's what we would call it.
Random samples.
Just random
Throughout the truck.
samples and.
Hit or miss,
That's-
baby.
It's kind of the same thing.
So. It's something new they implemented down, Dank implemented at the Rodman landfill. I've
And-
already talked to ATL about, and that wasn't tested for there. I asked him about over here at 19, and he said, no, they didn't test for that, but there's a few things they have to do.
I'm fascinated by this. See,
My question is, if the tests come back positive for lead,
Right.
then what?
Well, I believe that they would go to a different place in the landfill.
I see.
It would be a
Okay.
little bit more expensive.
Rational.
we'll probably contain it.
It's just like you have a choice of tearing a building down if it has asbestos in it, and landfilling all of the building. Or taking and mitigating the asbestos. You know, cleaning up the site, and then you can take it to a regular landfill.
I see.
So, I'm sure that has something to do with it.
Okay.
And I think that's more cost effective because that's what people do, right?
Well, right now, we felt that was the right thing to do was
Right.
take care of the asbestos and not put it in that special part of the landfill.
That
Right.
seems right.
That does.
Well, what, do we have a timeline on how long it takes?
Tim thought they
for,
would
uh,
know.
He thought today he overnighted the sample out,
Okay.
so, but obviously I didn't see him
Where
today,
does it
so
get tested?
I don't even know where he's.
I don't think you wanna know.
Sure I do. Why not? I mean,
There's
What do you
there's
get?
labs that do that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
You know, it's
therapies,
the
I know.
asbestos stuff and I don't
How
know.
far it has to go. Can't just go to Cocos and buy a couple of lead tests.
I was gonna say, can we just,
Have
like,
somebody dive into the container and do a few.
Suit up, Tim.
I
Put your
believe,
hazmat suit on and let's
All under
go.
the tax
Yeah.
as assigned.
I believe we'll talk,
Yeah, this falls under that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think we'll talk a little bit more about it in the joint meeting also. The building committee met and talked a little bit about what we're gonna do with that over there, probably, stone for the time being. Pressure on whatever.
Yep.
19 minor. Not a ton to update, other than, we're working with a couple of developers right now to finalize some plans. There is another, proposal in front of us that we haven't even opened yet, okay. But I've been in touch with the, a person that was involved in that submission. I think you were part of that, or maybe you delivered it.
I was part of it.
Yeah. We have two other, another one. So we're just waiting for these other two developers to wrap up. We have extended the deadlines. and-
There's several in the mix. right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. So. We're getting close. And with the deadline for New York Forward coming up on, call for projects, we're getting very close. So.
Good.
And I did talk to Dan, the other day, about what the Knights have put forward, so. So we're waiting right now. New York Forward, I think, you updated us pretty well. Our next LPC meeting is coming up next week. There'll be a press release set out, for that. I forwarded it to Sally, and we'll get it out to the press, get it posted on the website, so forth. After that, we will be, doing a call for projects. So. We'll see what comes out of the woodwork. I don't know if you have any questions about that, but you're all welcome to come.
It's
The,
really, sorry.
what?
I don't have a question. I guess I have a comment. I think that it's a really exciting, I mean, not just because, there's gonna be this infusion of money into our community, but also because it was really great to come to the public,
The engagement.
open house, thank you. Yeah, the public engagement and see lots of folks. There were a lot of people, including some new faces that, have not, been coming to a lot of things yet. And people coming and they have ideas and the investment and, in the community and to have over 100 responses to the survey is wonderful. So
75.
that's, yeah, I hope that level of engagement, keeps up. We've met a few times to talk about the village, projects. I think we've got a lot of exciting opportunity here, so that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
No,
I'm excited.
A lot of interesting stuff going on, and I
Yeah.
think that, please come and sit and listen and hear about what's going on, so.
And I hope people, who might have ideas realize this is a great opportunity to work with some consulting people at no cost and, really help you kind of fact check your, concept or your idea. And even if it doesn't make it through, you're gonna be in a better place. And so it's a good forum to
Yeah.
get your idea, get it up in front of some people to get some other, some real expert advice.
Well, yeah, and to add on to that, we have to, not we, the committee, the strategic investment plan that they are going to submit to the state is going to have more projects with more dollars on it than what the state will fund, and the state's going to make the choice. But the thing that does is create
Like a bank of
pipeline
projects.
that we can then work to help, find other sources for. So it's all useful to the community
Well,
members
and
that
as they
want
told
to.
us, that if your project doesn't get picked necessarily, but is included in that, then you are on a list for preferential
Right.
treatment going forward
Yeah,
for other grants. I mean,
Exactly.
look at That.
exactly.
Well, good.
Yeah,
Good.
all good.
Next item is, the report on the sewer project by Barton and LaJudas. I think that, I circulated that, it was in the packet.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything strange in there. Tim, I know they were, looking at the outfall in the river. I don't know if they've done that yet, or they've contracted to do it.
They're working on the contract documents for the companies that are gonna do it.
Okay, they have to look at the outfall in the river, to determine that it's, I don't know. We put divers in the,
That's what it was for, right?
They're gonna
So
dive.
they're gonna dive.
Yeah,
well, there's,
they're
yeah,
gonna try to actually dry it out, pump it out, and then go in it.
they may be able to
Like a
stop
robot
any
or
flow.
something is
Yeah.
the ideal situation, not have somebody actually go in.
I mean, I'm a fan of a robot doing that.
Yeah.
We got lots of tech.
We put divers in the lagoon.
I
so there you
know.
go.
Oh, what a job, huh?
So,
You thought going in
that's this action item that they have noted. in the
High paying
village
job.
staff.
That's what I was gonna
Means
say.
It is.
Yeah,
Okay.
they just notified us and
Yeah,
we kinda had to go through some of the scenarios of how it's gonna play out, and
right,
I'm gonna try to help them out a little bit too, so I can
good,
keep some of the costs down.
okay. Beautiful.
Anybody have questions for Tim on that project? We're making progress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The other piece to that was, and it ended up being related to our water and sewer rates was, EFC had some questions that we had to answer, about why and wherefores, and we answered the questions, and so far so good. It's a combination of our bonding, council and, EFC about rates and things like that, so. Okay, next item is water and sewer rates. We had proposed making these changes. I was specific that I wanted to answer what I felt was gonna be a question about our rural customers. Instead of doing, percent increases, it's been our policy to increase those rates, for rural customers, at the dollar amount that the percent rate increases village customers. You do it on a percentage basis, it gets further and further apart for those customers, so. We felt we had there's enough separation now because of them not being village residents, so, the increase for the minimum charge, in the village is gonna be $8.56 a quarter. I think I tried to say that in what I said, if we go with the 12%. We're still well under what New York State average is. I've done quite a bit of research, to looking at, rates and, there are several sources that I've been able to go to. Comptroller had a source, produced something, but it was 2016 numbers. The state average right now for water per month is $50.81.
per month,
Per month,
not quarter,
not
but,
quarter, per month.
Yeah.
yeah,
There's another source that I went to, was Water World, something or another, that looks at the whole country. And in the Northeast, and it falls in very close to what the comptroller had. The Northeast, part of the country, it's about $52.96
Per
per
month?
month.
Okay.
And sewer is about 89.53 per month, for a total of 142.48. So I'm trying to do the research to back up what the state's telling us when it comes time to try to find grants and,
Right.
Sure.
Well, because the state
no.
doesn't say to us, this is the formula you should use, or this is what you should, they don't tell us. what
Here's a
they should be. They
target,
just
yeah.
say, oh, those are too low. Well, that's.
They don't give you a
not
target.
so,
So,
and the other thing
Oh,
is too, the taxpayer has been, carrying the water rates some.
yeah.
And I think we do have to get past that where all users are carrying the load on, water and sewer rates, so. Water, especially for whatever reason, is, underfunded, so we have to make moves on that. We don't have much of a choice, and, the other piece was the EDU model, but we're doing more research on that.
Yeah.
The one nice thing I would say about the EDU model is that it defines what our fixed costs are.
Mhm.
So it's very easy to define your fixed costs, and then for those people that use under 5,000 gallons a quarter and call here and say, hey, I want credit, and we don't give credit for something like that,
Mhm.
they would have a little bit more control over,
Mhm.
their usage and see that in a bill. That's one of the ideas for the EDU. We're not there yet. We've got a
What
long
do
ways to go.
what do we think a prediction is in terms of that process? Like another year?
I don't know,
No.
the committee's working
No.
on that,
A few months,
Yeah.
okay.
trying
I
to
mean,
get, no, go ahead.
So Barton and LaJudas is helping us
Right.
with the research
Mhm.
and sort of, they're gonna help us.
Map it out.
Yes,
Strategy.
and help us, think about which direction, so to speak, to
Mhm.
go in.
The fixed costs don't go
fixed-
anywhere, it doesn't, we have a lot of up and
Hence the
down in our
name.
water,
Right.
usage.
Right,
But the fixed costs are always there, so
Mhm.
it's,
so
we're looking at a different model.
to more fully answer your question, I think that sort of, I have been imagining if we were gonna make that move, we would, maybe make it towards the end of this year.
Okay,
That's how I have been thinking
Okay.
about it.
well, that's good.
Um,
Like, we just haven't but.
We haven't put a lot of
Right.
conversation in it
I know,
here.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
No,
Or a timeframe.
and we will have,
Exactly.
we will have more, I think we're
We
waiting
want more
for,
data.
we need more
That's true.
data,
Yeah.
we need to know. We have some real rough numbers that we're
Mhm.
working with. But I think it's time to drill down and get more specifics and,
And I just think that will be welcomed potentially, by folks in terms of.
It'll help define
Yes,
yeah,
costs, I
and-
think, a little bit better.
yeah.
yeah, and that could be responsive to
Mhm.
comments that we've had earlier tonight. So,
And, it will help us with next year's budget.
sure.
And all of these sorts of things,
Yeah.
right? There are a lot of sort of dominoes, I think,
Mhm.
but we need more data, we need.
And every time we go to apply for a grant, the engineers do all this converting
Right,
because that's.
And that
what's-
costs money,
Yeah,
Yes.
so EFC
you know,
wants it and
In-
EUs.
in
Mhm.
EUs, and they have to take what you
So
have.
They have to go through it and they call Sally a million times with all kinds of questions on the water
Yeah.
bills and.
She has plenty of time to do all
I
that.
know, and I love speaking with them.
He'll be calling, he's gonna be calling again soon.
yeah.
We just kinda got that rolling again.
No, I think that's.
Time for a
that's good.
vacation, Sally.
Yeah.
So,
If anybody's familiar, I'm pretty familiar with my water bill.
listen,
Your water bill must
I
be
check mine, I know what, I typically use 7,000 gallons and,
in a quarter.
in a quarter typically.
I use about 12.
Well, so
12
I
gallons?
can
Well,
figure out
Thousand.
Oh,
what mine is, so.
Wow.
Pete must like take long showers.
No, he is not the long shower taker.
Oh, okay.
I am
Um,
the laundry service for my daughter, so
Oh,
she
well,
comes over to my house and does her laundry.
He's your dog.
you need a
She's my
high
dog.
efficiency, washer.
I have a high efficiency laundry.
Maybe that's my problem. I have a 25-year-old,
Oh, there you go.
Kenmore that is never gonna break because
Well,
it's,
there's something to be said for that.
I
You should knock
know.
on wood right
I
now.
know.
So,
Never gonna break.
The thing is like
Tomorrow.
freaking iron.
Yep.
Mine
Stop
is
it,
actually
stop it.
20+ years old.
Yeah.
And it's, I've never had to fix it.
I bet seven.
So let's bring us back to,
Yes, yeah.
reality
The
here.
business at hand.
Oh, it's real.
Well-
Laundry is a real reality.
Absolutely.
Oh,
So-
good lord.
Anybody,
So I would like to make a motion to raise rates as proposed.
okay,
Second,
I don't think we have a
any
choice.
further discussion? Well,
No,
quite frankly,
we
we
don't.
We
don't.
don't, we don't have a choice.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
I,
Anyone opposed? Okay. Next item is discuss and approve T-Mobile contract extension. That was, we went back and forth on that, and, I think that, we're in the right place for that. I know Scott looked at that over and thought that, it was okay. There it is. The old contract is in effect. This is just an extension.
Right.
And the terms of that contract in terms of annual increases stays in effect. T-Mobile happens to be our best payer. They lead the pack.
Perfect.
So, you know, I'm very pleased with, you know, what we're getting out of them.
Yeah.
So this is, with your permission, I can sign a contract, to extend the T-Mobile contract.
so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, new business. There are some additions on the new business side. Recreation employees, was added. The response priorities to our concerns about the BESS system. Change order for secondary source, water source. And just a joint meeting reminder. I think we've gotten to that point. So first item, authorize payment in vouchers and transfer funds.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? There was also a draft MOU between St. Lawrence University, the Canton Police, and the Village of Canton. This is typical arrangement we have every few years. It's updated. They have a new attorney up there now, I think that's dedicated to school. Every few years they review these things, and after I passed it along to Scott. He reviewed it, didn't see any problem. There were a couple little changes in there, made sense. And with your permission,
can I ask, are there, I didn't see like there's anything particularly big or new to this. This is just what we've been doing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and it
we
goes
have a
well.
relationship, we keep,
Yeah.
defining that relationship,
Mhm.
so we're all on the same page.
Yeah, well, I think that's a good
Seems
idea.
pretty straightforward to me.
Would, I'm trying to find it in.
Oh, 6B memorandum. That's the title,
6B.
6B.
Would, like the sheriff's department and all that, would that automatically be in there? Is that
Nope.
different?
It's the relationship between us
Slew?
in the village, SLU and PD.
Okay,
Pat Gagnon, who is the security.
this is only for
director.
St. Lawrence.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, this
I
has
know
got,
the
this is
name.
nothing, this is St. Lawrence.
Got it.
If there ever needed to be a joint effort with the other agencies, they all are in good communication. The chief is in good communication with our sheriff and Pat, like, that's a good established
For a long
relationship.
time, we've had a really good working relationship with
Right.
St. Louis University, so it just memorializes that.
Got it.
Yeah.
Scott, keep it over to you, so.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The GIS hosting renewal. This is the hosting renewal with Dank. A lot of information that they keep
Mhm.
track of for us.
That.
Again, I didn't go back and look at the last one, but it doesn't look different to me. Is there anything
Yeah, increase in price.
besides, yeah,
How
Well,
much of an increase in?
It's not,
As
huge,
in-
but it is an increase.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not.
it's not a,
They've been a good resource, you know, they,
Mhm.
you know, may not agree with everything, but.
Okay.
Okay, I
Need a
need a
motion?
motion,
So moved.
Second.
second, all in favor, any
Aye.
opposed? Clean energy community grant, you kinda said
Previewed
something
that,
about that.
right.
I don't know if there's anything more you wanna say.
Not really. I mean, we hashed over some choices and again, you get this extra, I mean, this is a points game. And, you know, it's worth doing the studies to get the points for the other program to be eligible for the $50,000. So,
right, because the $50,000, the study, so the 3 energy audits, the 3 buildings are gonna be the DPW, the
Pavilion,
the
pavilion,
pavilion, right.
and,
clubhouse.
and the
And the
clubhouse. And the benefit of doing that is that, you know, whatever recommendations come back from that study, that they being the contractors determined by NYSERDA, those recommendations, we are then able to use the grant money from the 50,000
Mhm. To
to
still.
fund those recommendations. We wouldn't, if we don't do the energy audits.
Right.
We can't
Yeah.
use
It-
their
it's sort of
money
an-
for those things.
Right.
So.
And there's a flat rate for the studies, so that helped us, that's how come we decided 3 buildings, it's based on a number of employees and everything else, so we figured out we could do 3 with
Sure.
$10,000, so.
I'm fascinated. I can't wait to see what some of the status says.
Say about
I think you can.
Oh, the biggest news, right, I should have
Have
said
one
this
window
before,
open.
I was
It's
too
a
busy
big
thinking about that.
window.
Well, one of the facts that, Suna told us too, is that we have reduced our greenhouse gas emissions by 40% when she first started to collect the data. Biggest thing being changing the, water, electrifying that as
Oh,
opposed to the
the,
diesel.
yeah,
The blowers.
The blowers.
The blowers, I mean, it
Mhm.
made a huge difference,
Yeah.
and you can go on our website and click on, see the actual all the data and the reports that show.
the state will think we're heroes.
40%, that's awesome.
Yes,
Just
it
think
is.
what we could do with the pavilion.
Well, that's why it's on that,
Upgrade our cooling system.
well, I mean, this
Our
is
cooling
the
fluid.
thing. That, so once we do the report and it identifies things like that,
Right.
next step,
Yeah.
here you say to the state, this has been identified by your people that this is what we need to do and
I
show up.
totally love this.
And combined with
Show
the
us the
rec
money.
assessment, which is also
Mhm.
going to assess the pavilion, like this energy audit will benefit that.
Right, so
Totally.
it seemed like a good, and the other thing Suna has done, which I appreciate too, is she has gone out there to see, what are other places doing. She said a rink in Buffalo got $1 million to
Mhm.
do improvements. We're gonna aim for the 50,000 first.
We're
but-
starting with 50,000,
But you leverage, I mean, that's how it apparently works with these points, is you have gotta be able to leverage one thing with the other stuff.
and while, so the application for bronze status goes in on the 5th, the grant application goes in on the 17th, but the bronze, right.
Right,
By the time we get that designation, we're gonna be very close to silver status.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to.
we are,
There's a sheet of actions that Suna has passed along to Tim and to Lee and to us and hopefully Tim Nolan. Because there are things that we have already done that likely
it will
gain
generate
points for
points, right,
us.
that we've already done, so no
So
effort
once we
involved,
hit that, again, more doors open.
Yeah.
So
we're playing the game.
playing the game.
playing the
Okay.
game.
Anything more on that?
Thank you, that's the
Welcome.
biggest thing.
I was like, share the big news.
I know, well, that it works, that, the insulation in the town barn,
The insulation in the town barn,
It has worked. It
electrification,
has worked.
it's working.
It is working.
Okay, next item is approve recreation employees.
One by one.
No,
Oh, please.
I sent a list out
It's.
and I think I got everybody on it. There were several,
Right?
yeah. She has lead lifeguards listed, returning lifeguards
Mhm.
listed, rookie lifeguards, and program instructors.
There is one addition, did you get the last one that I sent you for dance?
Yeah,
Okay,
Olivia.
On there.
just
It's on
happened.
here.
Okay, just one.
On there.
I got it.
It just happened.
Well, he's on it.
And these are for swim programs and Taylor Park or just swim programs?
Oh, it's,
Everything,
It's everything.
yeah.
It's,
It's
Don't
her
worry,
program.
except the summer,
Yeah,
That's
next
the
month
drop-in
you'll have a
program.
summer
the
program.
drop-in programs, not this.
right, right,
You'll
because
have
you're,
another
you're
football
still.
team. Basketball team.
Hey, it's
Little bit
good,
smaller.
it's good to see, you don't normally.
5-on-5 or 3-on-3?
5-on-5.
Okay.
So in her report, she left, she put the rates in for all employees. So you have those.
Right.
Yeah.
So can I have a motion to approve these people?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? You have the list?
I have the list,
Okay.
and Megan.
Copy and paste.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and payroll has the list.
And payroll.
More
Hey,
important.
that's the most
Yeah.
important.
Certainly to the people on the
Yeah.
list, it's the most. important.
Yes.
Okay, I know this has been talked about a couple of times. I sent out, the information to you, the communications about, Ori's, and the administrative law judge's ruling, that, and I just wanted to mention it here, and we're gonna talk about it more at the public, at the, joint meeting. But, apparently the town, according to the law judges, town and the village did not raise substantive or significant issues that require changes to the project or further adjudicatory proceedings by the agency. The ruling effectively clears way for a final siting permit to be issued. So I had some communications with, Bill Buchan, and I think you all got a copy of that too. We're kind of dead in the water here on any kind of water study, fire protection study being funded by Ori's, or by, EDF. He didn't see a path forward for any of that to be done. Apparently, they don't think it's serious enough, to discuss.
No water to put the fire out.
Well, you know, that it comes down
well.
to whether, you know, village
Whatever.
produced, drinking water is the right thing to use on a fire out there. I think they're gonna have to find out where they're gonna get that water from. You know, not to say we won't do our best to help people, but,
But, yeah,
You know,
we're not
are
gonna.
you
Imagine
gonna-
planning ahead for an
are
instance.
you gonna
like
drain
that.
all of our, water supply to try to, you know?
Wouldn't even be enough, right?
We can't do that, so, and we needed some study done and modeling done on how to do that, but,
That's,
so.
I'm totally perplexed.
We'll do some planning, the fire department will do some planning with, you know, how we find, appropriate water if it's needed. Yeah, we'll see what they come back to us with. It's about all we can do.
I know, I come
I don't know right now that we can afford to spend the money doing the study right now. So we'll talk more about it as we go further into this. It'll be a topic of conversation next week. The town isn't happy either.
Well, I can't
Would
imagine.
imagine.
And, you know, they really poo-pooed
Deep
everything that
dissatisfaction,
everybody brought up.
everything, every single piece of it. I didn't read the whole thing because who had time,
Apparently,
but I did skim it and it really blew me away how it just seems as if it just is
Cavalier.
swept away, you know.
Cavalierly.
Big business.
You know, they have
little tiny. community.
said they would follow this statute or plan, therefore fine. They have said they would do this is not a worry. You know, and I just completely dismisses the,
Clearly, there wasn't a
community.
fire within the past 18 months, you know, in our region because of these things.
Yeah.
Clearly, you know, nobody was
Well, they've
evacuated.
had several that, have gone up.
Yeah, this is insane. I'm not, you can quote me on that.
You saw the, approach that, they took. They don't think there's anything there. They're gonna follow.
They're a
what
big
the state
business. They don't
says,
care. They don't live
you know,
here.
So, and the state is, on board. This is
Clearly.
gonna happen, so.
Welcome to,
Whether we like it or not.
that's unfortunate.
Okay, change order for the secondary source. This came up quickly,
Up for the raised manhole.
well, yeah, we knew about the raised manhole. They found a manhole that was, buried, significantly buried that they needed to get into. They would like to raise that, manhole. I don't know if they're gonna use grade rings or a new cover set or whatever they're gonna do. That's about $1,445.14.
That's a fun number.
Sure is.
And they sharpened their pencil. The other issue that they ran into, they found a sanitary sewer that wasn't where the drawing said it was. There's a requirement by, the health department that a water line and a sewer line has to be 10 feet apart. So we need to.
I appreciate that.
We need to relocate the sewer, the existing sanitary sewer.
By how many feet?
Well, it's gotta be a 7-foot or 10-foot separation. Tim, you were out there looking at that today.
Curious.
Yeah, it's laying right in the water trough essentially that they had dug,
Yeah,
so.
Phenomenal.
so they're gonna move it. That cost is about $23,045.93.
Reroute it.
Reroute it. The change order isn't really, a lot. It's, $24,491.07. We do have to approve it. We approved the original bid. Now we have to approve the change order. Pretty typical.
We were under, right? When we-
Well,
Yes.
that was my next question. I mean, we're still under budget, so.
Well under budget.
Thank.
Yeah.
More wood now.
We need to account for some of this stuff anyways, so.
Knock away.
Knocking
I'll
up.
make a motion to approve the change order.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Good deal. Just a reminder, the joint meeting is the 26th. Mary Ann circulated a draft agenda. It's not very in-depth. I haven't sent it out. She circulated, we've talked.
Okay.
You know, it'll go out.
And the shared services thing is on there.
Shared services on there,
I will
Yeah.
try to get that out.
so. This holiday in the middle of the week has kind of got.
Yeah.
off, so,
But all I can say is that we can be grateful for the poor kids trying to take Regencies. Yesterday, they didn't have to take any because all the schools were closed.
won't be long now.
Oh, my God.
Okay,
It's been awful.
next item is public comment. Do I have any public comment?
Yes, remember? Got a minute?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can have three.
No, I just, last year you guys did a study on Court Street with the bicycle lanes, and I told them the issue really on Court Street is the drainage. And I took it upon myself, talked to neighbors this week. A couple of them are still on vacation. There's 3 houses I gotta talk to, but I have a petition here for new storm sewer on Court Street from State Street to Pearl Street because there are none. Have we, the undersigned residents, request the village of Canton Superintendent DPW install storm sewer, including catch basins and laterals along Court Street from State Street intersection of Pearl Street and Judson Street, in which there are none. We as residents are tired of rainwater runoff and snow melt from impervious surfaces such as roofs, parking lots, and streets running into our yards and our basements. This has been happening for a long time, ever since they raised Court Street. And it's about time we get to take care of it. I have a bunch of signatures here.
Do it.
Present that to Sally. Oh, here we go, Sally.
Any other?
Day like today, I mean, we had, a couple weeks ago, we had our chicken barbecue at the church. And it came off the roof down that parking lot, poor Mrs. Robinson, her whole backyard was flooded. Same with the Wisners behind them, or Winers behind them, and Mr. Rudiger. Like I said, there's 3 houses I gotta get, that haven't, they're on vacation, and I'll get their signatures, but. Just wanna see if we can get the town, to take a look at that, because it's really a problem, and it's been going on for quite some time, so. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Any other comment? Once, twice? Okay. Need a motion to go in executive session for employment and personnel.
So,
Second.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Thank you.